watching their fellow compatriot Johnny Archer. I don't know how they all get on. They seem to get on very well when they're part of the Mosconi Cup team. But they're just watching a great match between two masters.
Yeah, really, they're all good friends when they're not playing pool against one another. They're playing golf with one another.
Johnny Archer, no mean golfer. Corey Jewell taking the game up and enjoying it. And obviously, a little bit of fresh air never hurt anybody. And I should think now Mark Williams has just about reached the first hole after playing 7 or 8 decent hacks. And he's now going to 3-putt for an 11.
Well, if he's like me, the most critical part of his golf game is taking enough golf balls to the course to complete the 18.
Golf and snooker and pool, all similar games. You must have no more than 200 thoughts on your backswing. Ooh, he's gone a bit close to the middle, but he's okay.
Still a fairly open table here. A little bit clustered up. 6, 7, and 9 are kind of tight, but should not present much of a problem. Boy, you know Archer would like to see a break happen where there's some balls tied up.
Well, got to get back to the table somehow. It was a 5-ball mistake that led him back in last time. No problems with that one. And you can't really say that there's any problems for the rest of this rack. 7-4. It's a race to 9. The last 64 here at Cardiff. It goes up to race to 11, I think, for the last 16. And the final is a race to 17. A true test, other than the fact that people would like it always to be longer, to make sure that that luck element was taken out of the equation. But still the greatest test of 9-ball in the world. And Reyes has proven the master of most of those tests, and I think in his time has probably won just about everything.
When Reyes completes this rack, he will have matched Archer's effort of running 4 racks in a row. This will be the 4th consecutive rack for Reyes.
Totally different pattern of play we're seeing here as Reyes knocks his ball in.
Well, Johnny continues to rest in the chair while Reyes gets to exercise his arm and keep it warm. That's the terrible thing about Johnny being in that position. The arm just gets colder and colder. And the confidence factor now, as Reyes gets close to 9 racks, the confidence goes away on Archer's side and the tension starts to set in.
And obviously it's not like Efren Reyes has clincher's disease. He can get over the line whenever he needs to. So Archer's hoping that something goes wrong off a break-off. But we are seeing a pattern emerging, a slightly different pattern from the alternate breaks from the league phase to now winner breaks, that players are starting to win racks in blocks. And then you've got to have the mental strength to try and get yourself back into it. Counter-punching.
I'm curious to watch this break, Steve, because now that Reyes has a bit of a lead, will he pull off the break shot a little bit and try and gain control for sure of the cue ball?
And to make sure he just doesn't lose control, or will he give it everything and try and win the match in one visit, so to speak? If he can get to 8-4, he's definitely a favourite.
Well, it looks like he tapped it pretty good.
Oh, he's got a result there.
Oh, man.
Monstrous result.
And Archer's was just in his chair, just shaking his head at that result. He thought he was going to get to come to the table. And at the last moment, an alley opens up.
Oh. You know, you sit in your chair and you're sort of watching 8 or 9 balls whizzing around the table. Your brain's like sort of all over the place. Your eyes are flicking around, seeing where there could be a problem for the other guy. He must have thought he was in with a chance there.
Johnny's quite frustrated at that when those 2 balls collided in that manner. If they'd collided at a little bit of an angle, they would have gone down that line to block the 1 ball.
This game sends you mad. Oh, yeah. Totally mad. Round the bend.
I'm looking for a problem. I don't see one.
Well, we didn't see one when Efren missed. Ooh.
Boy, oh boy, he is really playing it tight.
Every shot effectively is easy on a 9-ball pool table. Very rarely do you have to play a difficult shot. It's just the accumulation of easy shots, if you take your foot off the gas, so to speak. mentally relaxed for a split second.
Well, you see Efren, he just crossed himself because he bobbled that ball. It just barely went down. He struck both faces of that corner pocket to send that ball home. Take a look. Watch the pink. Boom, 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 boom.
I thought it might be because he's exactly on the 5 where he was before.
6 ball going to the corner, Steve. He's going to send the cue ball back across the table. Pick the 7 ball in the same pocket.
He's going to be a break-off away from getting through what would be a difficult opening match of this knockout phase here. And I'm sure if we get a chance to talk to him at some stage, he will say how relieved he is to have got through Johnny Archer. But
and just think about this from Archer's perspective. He's made 2 mistakes. He lost the leg, and then he missed a ball. And that's it.
Well, Mark Williams only made 2 or 3 mistakes, and he lost 9-0. It doesn't take many mistakes. It's a bit like a boxing match. 1 mistake, and you're on the floor. I only made 1 mistake. It's just when I did have my right guard a bit too low. Well, that's not ideal. That is missable. You don't want to be queuing over a middle pocket. You'll get it, but it's he's a bit frustrated with his position.
Yeah, he's very unhappy with his little lapse there. Queuing over a pocket. Oh, he's missed it.
Well, that is a sign of pressure, and he's talked himself into missing that. Wow, what a big moment that is. He's banged at that ball. If he'd have stroked it, it would have gone in along that line. He knew it was a mistake, and at this level, even though that was a very gettable shot, he knows that that's a critical position he's left himself in.
Well, you could see the cueing error. The cue ball was bouncing down the table.
Well, his body was moving on the shot.
Right.
He was already up in the air, panicking
Right.
about getting the ball in, and he knew that was the big shot. He shouldn't have been anywhere near that part of the pocket with the cue ball. And Archer, well, he's been given a dog's chance once again.
Well, he's been sitting in that chair now for 4 racks, almost 5. 1 ball short of 5 racks, and now he's got to come to the table and make a long cut shot. He's made it.
Johnny Archer recovers once again from the brink and gives himself the chance of turning the tables on that man, Efren Reyes. Who's going to win this one? One player has reached this stage of the tournament producing